Welcome back to the Scratch course. In the last lecture, we learned how to program the paddle sprite. Now, let us move on to the programming of the ball sprite. At first, we want the ball to be in the center of the screen. To do that, let us start by dragging a when green flag clicked block. And let us add a set XY position block and set both the values to 0, which is horizontally and vertically centered. Now, if we see carefully, we can see that the ball is a bit bigger than our needs. So, to reduce its size, let us drag a set size block and set the value to 65%. Now, if we click the flag, we can see that the ball is in the center of the screen and is also small to fit our needs. We want the ball to be moving always, and we want it to start moving in a random direction, somewhat downwards. To do that, let us bring a point in direction block. And let us set the value of the point in direction block to a pick random block, which is in the operators category. Let us set the first value of the pick random block to 135 and the second value to 225. We also want the ball to be moving always. To do that, let us add a forever loop from the control category. Inside the forever loop, let us add a move 10 steps block, which is in the motion category, to make it move always. Now let us click the green flag and test it out. Yes, the ball is moving in a random direction, but we want the ball to bounce if it is touching any of the edges. To do that, there is a block in the motions category called if on edge bounce. Let us add that to our forever loop. Now if we click the flag and check it out, it is bouncing as we need it to. Now, the ball is bouncing off the edges, but we also want the ball to bounce if it is touching the paddle sprite. To fulfill that condition, let us add an if block from the control category. And in the condition of the if block, let us add a touching block, which is in the sensing category. And let us select the paddle sprite in the drop down of the touching block. And we want the ball to bounce if it is touching the paddle. To do that, let us add a point in direction block inside of the if statement. And let us set the value to 180 degree minus the current direction. We can get the current direction in the motion category. There is a block called direction in it. We can put that in the second value of the minus operation. Now, if we click the flag to check it out, it is bouncing off the edges and also bouncing off our paddle. Now that it is bouncing off the edges and the paddle, we want the game to stop entirely if the ball is going below the paddle. That means the loser is going to lose if he lets the ball go more below than the paddle. To fulfill that, we need another if block, and let's drag that. And in the condition of this if block, let us add the lesser than operator. Let us set the first value of the lesser than operator to the current y position of the ball, which we can get in the motions category with a block called y position. Let us set the second value to minus 160, which is lower than the paddle. Because we want everything to stop if the ball goes lower than the paddle, let us put a stop all block there inside the if statement. Now let us test our game. Now if I leave it go below this, it stops. So our game is working, and in the next video we will learn how to add scores and speed for the ball. Until then, goodbye.